Hello, everyone. It's an honor and a privilege to be here to speak before you all today. I thank you all. My name is Onitha McKnight. I work at Philadelphia International Airport as a wheelchair attendant. I am here today because my coworkers and I are inspired by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. We are fighting every day at the airport to achieve his dream of human dignity and equality for all. The problem is that the wages and conditions at Philadelphia International Airport aren't any better than they were for Memphis sanitation workers who Dr. King died fighting for. In fact, they're worse. By today's standards, Memphis sanitation workers would make about $11.41 an hour. I make $5.75 an hour. Yeah, $5.75 an hour. And let me say this, as a wheelchair attendant, if you come into contact with me at the airport, I'm going to give you the best service that I can give you. Okay. Now, that $5.75 is with tips. And that rounds out to about minimum wage sometimes, because as we all know, tips are not guaranteed. Like many workers over 50 years ago, when we speak up for better pay and better working conditions, we face intimidation and we face retaliation from our employers. Why is it that 50 years later, a mostly black workforce at Philadelphia International Airport is doing worse than black workers did in the Jim Crow South? What does it say about our city that we can't do better for hardworking men and women who simply want to make a living wage and want to receive respect on the job? I wish I could say that the civil rights progress we've made in the last 50 years extended to low-wage workers, but that hasn't been my experience. Airport workers, fast food workers, healthcare workers, we are still fighting the same fight that Dr. King was fighting half a century ago. As Dr. King said, we may have all come on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. We're still subject to poor treatment. We're subject to poverty wages and indignity. We may not be sitting on the back of the bus anymore, but we are certainly at the bottom of the economic ladder. And every time we try to climb up, corporate greed and political apathy keep us down. Keeps us down. Airport workers and other low-wage workers are fighting for the most basic rights on the job. That's the right to a living wage, the right to form a union, and we want the dignity and the respect that we deserve. I'd like to thank you all for supporting us on this important fight that affects so many of us. This fight is not over, and there's still more work to be done. Dr. Martin Luther King said, "The time is right to do what is right." And I tell you today, the time is now. The time is right now. Thank you all.